Good evening. I'm Wayne Smith. I'm the Associate Department Head in the Department of Soil and Crop Sciences, and I want to welcome you to our annual Soil and Crop Sciences Student Recognition Banquet. This year it's fully virtual, hopefully for the last time due to the COVID pandemic. We're here to recognize and to honor a number of our outstanding students in this department. We're honoring them and recognizing them for their scholastic accomplishments, and we're honoring them for their extracurricular activities as well. These young people will become leaders of tomorrow. They will become integral parts of the greatest agricultural production, research, and extension industry that the world has ever known. We know that you're proud of your students, and we're certainly proud of them and proud to have them in the Department of Soil and Crop Sciences. We awarded more than $53,000 in scholarship money this year to 17 of our undergraduate students. These awards were made possible by our donors, some of the greatest people in the world today. And we certainly appreciate their recognition and their generosity in giving and making it possible for us to recognize these worthy students. We want to recognize two new donors this year. One is the Peanut Producers Board that gave a generous donation in recognition and honor of Dr. Charles Simpson, who was is a world-renowned peanut geneticist in the department and spent his career at Stephenville as a part of AgriLife research. Charlie was known worldwide, and we appreciate the Peanut Producers Board recognition of Charlie and recognition of our students. The other new donor is the Watson family. This is Audrey and her son Rick, who gave a generous donation recognizing Dr. Jim Watson, who was in turfgrass. And so we are appreciative of that donation and look forward to honoring and recognizing the Watson family in future banquets and in future years. At this point, I also want to recognize the two committees that gave of their time to review the documentation, review the applications of a number of students, and to rank them and to identify these 17 students whom we are recognizing tonight. Those committees were led by Dr. Terry Gentry in soil science. He led the Plant and Environmental Soil Science Committee, and Dr. Ben Worley in turfgrass science, and Ben led the committee that reviewed the applications for our turfgrass science endowments. I want to again congratulate all of our awardees. I want to thank the donors who gave generously of their funds to recognize these students. I look forward to seeing all of you next year in a truly live recognition banquet. I look forward to seeing the students back in class shoulder to shoulder and filling up Kyle Field in the fall. Thank you again for your donations. Thank you, students, for bringing what you bring to our department every day and giving us the opportunity to be a part of your lives.
Howdy, I'm Ty Riley, and I'm a senior turfgrass major here at Texas A&M, and I'm also president of the Turf Club. I just wanted to share a little bit that we've been doing over the past year. Even though COVID has brought us down a little bit, we're still going strong, and just a few points. Over the past 12 years, we've raised over $20,000 through silent auctions, fundraisers, and grants. And we have put this through our program to help send students to many turf competitions and golf course tournaments over the past few years. We have sent a total of over 80 students to these events the past 10 years. The club also is going to be holding an Aggie Turf Club golf outing. It's going to be really fun. I'm looking really forward to it. You're going to have your name put on an Aggie Turf Club cup, and it's going to be displayed at the Aggie Turf facilities. And then over the past few years, we have been bringing in guest speakers to come speak at Turf Club. This has been very exciting for us because it shows many opportunities in our program. Throughout my involvement at the Aggie Turf Club, I've learned about many internship opportunities. This is a perfect way for students to get hands-on work in the field. And through this, I've learned about my first job opportunity, which is at Boot Ranch in Fredericksburg, Texas. They offered me my first job, and I anticipate many more throughout this final year at Texas A&M. And finally, if you want to join the Turf Club, you can join through our webpage at turfgrassclub.tamu.edu and through our Facebook page at Texas A&M Turf Club Network Facebook. Thank you.
Howdy, my name is Grace Bodine. I'm currently a junior in the Soil and Crop Sciences Department here at A&M, and I am the Agronomy Society President for the 2021-2022 school year. For this past school year, I was the Agronomy Society Secretary.
Howdy, my name is Ariana Lasso, and I am also a junior in the department, and this past year I was the Agronomy Society Vice President, and I am the upcoming Vice President as well.
So we just wanted to talk about some of the accomplishments of and events that we were able to hold this past academic year for Agronomy Society. And the biggest one that we were able to do is continue our corn maze. The Aggie Corn Maze is normally our biggest fundraiser for the club, but due to the pandemic and some other regulation complications, we decided to make it a food drive, and we were able to raise over 1,000 pounds of food, which was a great, volunteer opportunity for our group. And we were only able to open for 2 days, a Saturday and a Sunday in, I believe, October or November. November. But anywho, normally we are open for multiple weekends between the time of October and November, and that usually brings in thousands of people. We were able to bring in, give or take, about a couple hundred, but about 1,000 people to the corn maze this past year, which was really exciting as an opportunity to reach out to the public and give the public something fun to do during the pandemic. So that was our biggest highlighting event, was the corn maze.
So some other things that we were also able to accomplish is we were able to send our club to virtual SACES, which definitely wasn't as fun as normal in-person SACES, but just as satisfying. We had actually a student placed first in the speech contest. Our quiz bowl team placed second, which is super, super incredible. And there's a lot of really awesome networking opportunities, such as graduate presentations. There's a lot of grad school opportunities for anyone who wanted to go and talk to some recruiters, and just overall really, really great experience while we got to attend the Tri-Societies. So yeah,
and then that was all in the fall. So rolling into the spring, probably the biggest thing that we were able to participate in is Big Event, which is a campus-wide and community-wide event. And so we were able to send off a few of our students to help a community member clean up her yard. And it was a great way to meet in person with our members, because throughout the entire year we've been limited to Zoom club meetings, which works but is not nearly as fun. So being able to go out there and work together, as we did with Corn Maze, was really nice.
Leading into that actually brings us to some stuff that we're going to be hopefully being able to accomplish this upcoming year for the 2021-22 academic year. Starting off with Corn Maze. Hopefully we're going to get it out over the span of a whole bunch of weeks, multiple days. We're possibly looking into inviting some other clubs to participate with us, and maybe even the possibility of turning it into a festival, but we'll get more into that later.
Because the pandemic is settling down, hopefully, everything should be opening up a lot more, meaning we'll have a lot more social opportunities for our club. That includes meetings in person, and then also having some more fun activities, such as possibly having a tailgate for the department or club during the football season. And just maybe we've had friends Thanksgiving potluck parties and things like that in the past, so those sorts of opportunities should be more open and more frequent this upcoming year.
Yeah, and it has already been announced that SACES will be in person at Salt Lake City, Utah, so we're super excited to send a group of students to go represent our department and our club at this upcoming SACES.
will be able to participate more as in the competitions as well. I think there'll be a lot more interest because virtually, I think there's a lot of like not quite understanding what the conference really is. So we have a lot of new students in our club that I think will really gain a lot from it finally being in person again. So yeah.
And for those of you who are not yet part of our club but are super interested, the first thing you want to do is attend a meeting or contact either Grace or I or any of our officers. We're more than happy to invite y'all to one of our meetings. We have our annual dues of $40 or semester dues of $25, and and we have bi-weekly meetings on specifically Tuesdays around 6, but that is subject to scheduling, and just we want as many people to attend when it's possible, so that is subject to change. So,
And we're going to be hopefully having a booth at the MSC open house for where they host all the different clubs throughout the campus. So we're hoping to secure a booth so you can see us there as well. We do have some social media presence. We're kind of working on it, but we do have a Facebook, and I believe it's at Texas A&M Agronomy Society. You can also reach out to us through administration, and the faculty and staff, they all know us. So that's another way if you've heard about or see this but don't know how to exactly get in contact with us. Dr. Gentry and Dr. Howe are 2 advisors, so they also would be willing to help you out and get into this club. But basically we want to incorporate as many students as we can in this department, and anyone who's interested in agriculture, crops, soil, environmental science, and how all of those interact with each other. If you're interested in grad school or career or anything of that sort, we welcome you and hope to see you next semester. So, ready?
Thanks, and Gigum.
Hey everyone, I'm Shilpa Singh, and I am a second-year PhD student with Dr. Muthu Magwathianan in Soil and Crop Science Department. And I'm also a hardcore weed science person. That's what I love about it and the program itself. And here's my colleague, Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Kezar. I am a first-year PhD student also in Dr. Muthu Bhagavathian's Weed Science Lab. I have not come from a weed science background, so don't feel discouraged by the hardcore weed scientists like Shilpa, but as iron sharpens iron, it's great to be in a program with so many wonderful weed scientists like here at Texas A&M, and that's why I wanted to come here and pursue weed science. Okay. So for the weed team, it's labeled as SCSC 453 for undergraduates who are encouraged to join, or 653 for us graduate students. It's labeled as identification and management and agronomy, but we also just kind of essentially have it labeled as the weed science team. And Shilpa is going to tell us a little more about what that entails.
Yes, so when it comes to weed science team, it's more fun. Actually, I would say that. And given this whole past year that we had, this pandemic situation, so all these classes were not scheduled. We didn't get a chance to go for the weed competition last year, which basically is a very prestigious thing to go for, because when it's called a Southern Weed Science Society, it comes from them, and it is a competition between 13 southern states. And if you outstand there and if you do well there, it's so motivating, it's so encouraging. And the best part, when you are on this team or when you learn about, be on the team and learn about weed science, you basically pretty much cover everything, all the aspects. So for example, to start with, you get hands-on experience with the weed identification and also the seed identification, which start from the seeds and then go from seedlings to the maturity. So you get the wholesome experience right there. Then moving on to the herbicide applications, because we do spray herbicides on the weeds to control them. So knowing about our herbicide, it's very important. So you get to learn about that. You get to learn what rates to spray and which crops to spray, which weeds to spray, how they would interact and how they would affect and control those weed species which are troublesome for the growers. Fun part, you learn the symptomology of the herbicides. When you spray them, you can easily, clearly tell the difference is, hey, you sprayed the glyphosate and you sprayed the paraquat. So that's the cool and the fun part. It's more about like you going and exploring out there in the nature. You're not sitting in the room, you're not just sitting at this, looking at the slides. You're out there in the field, you're learning about the things. It's a hands-on experience.
We are just about to start the course for 2021, and Shilpa, being a veteran, has been really, really critical in helping us newbies kind of come onto the team and then carry on what the weed team is for Texas A&M, and then compete eventually in August in Mississippi this year. And what I know myself and then other new students are really excited about is, like Shilpa said, is like, this is what we've kind of like trained for as weed scientists, from undergrad and into our early graduate classes, and then even reading through the literature, right? Because we can read all day about how, you know, the different like systems work, like the different chemicals work in the species, and then how we can identify that. But it really doesn't come into terms until we go into the field and actually look at the application, look at the injury, and then see what we should do from there. And then also, you know, the principal applications of herbicides and how we calibrate properly and how we follow the labels. All of these things are critical and essential for weed science, then also agronomy on a larger scale. And these are all skills that we'll carry forever from now until our future careers, and come back and rely on them and then learn together as a team. So it's really exciting to look forward to the learning and all the social aspects as well.
Yes, and then another cool part I would say about being on the weed team is that it's not just about learning and a wholesome experience of weed science, it grows you more in terms of your careers as well. So when you write that on your CV, one line that you've been on the contest, there is the value added to your CV. So highly recommend it, go for it. It will be really, really amazing and helpful for everyone.
Hello, I'm Nicole Shigley, and I'm a master's student that helps coach the Texas A&M soil judging team. A quick recap over this past year. Since COVID, we have turned into virtual soil judging, and we participated in a virtual soil judging regional contest back last fall. Everyone on our team this year was pretty new, and so we did not place, sadly, and so we did not participate in nationals this semester. But we look forward to next year. The plan is in fall that we will be back out in person doing soil judging pits again, and get to have that in-person experience of judging soils, which is much better than virtual. We also look forward to going back into helping the 4-H and the FFA teams get together and host a workshop, and hopefully get to help do some of the hosting of the 4-H contest with our extension agent, Dr. Jake Maurer. So this past year, our current soil judges, although most of them were new, they also weren't very many students from our own department. And we're hoping to get some more soil and crop students into our soil judging team as a great experience out in the field and being able to learn those field expertise of describing horizons in the soil. This benefits you not just in your academic career, this also benefits you for future job positions. Any type of field experience is always great to have and puts you ahead of others. So since this year we're hoping to get into the face-to-face soil pits, we hope that we can recruit some new members to the soil judging team. If you are interested in doing something like this, you can sign up for our SCSC 310 Soil Morphology and Interpretation course. This will give you a brief introduction and kind of teach you the rules and all of the specifics for soil judging, and kind of get your foot into that water to see if that's something you're interested in.
Wow, what a wonderful group of students. It's really a pleasure to be department head and have this many wonderful students that have just been recognized with scholarships to support their work going forward. We really appreciate all of the donors, each and every one of you who have helped these students with these scholarships, both today and in the past. The many past recipients are tremendous beneficiaries. We have people that have had these scholarships in leadership roles in most federal agencies in agriculture, people that are in the Department of Ag, people that are farming, people that are running companies, people that are working in turfgrass, all across the country. Graduates that have been the beneficiaries of these scholarships are moving on and demonstrating their success. We thank each and every one of you, including the students who have dedicated their lives to agriculture through soil and crop sciences. I wanted to cover just a few key highlights for the year. This year has been a really stressful year, with the cancellation of our awards program last spring with the onset of COVID, to having to do it virtually yet this year. We have been through the year of COVID. It's tremendous pleasure to share with you how successful our faculty have been at adapting to the COVID issues. They have delivered their courses, developed distance methods for staying in touch with students, developed exciting new ways to utilize Zoom. We didn't even know what Zoom was 2 years ago, and now it's part of our vocabulary. We also want to thank them for their commitment to continuing to lead their research and extension programs, which drive the success of our students through their experiences. It has truly been a great year for the department in terms of filling some positions. Chase Straw has joined the department. Brianna Wyatt has joined the department. Chase is our new turfgrass scientist, and Brianna works in soil hydropodology. We were also joined this year by Fernando Guion, who is our statewide extension specialist for small grains, and Ben McKnight, who is our statewide extension specialist for cotton. We were also joined last year, and not recognized because we had no banquet last year, by Art Verhoff, who will be working in the area of applied agricultural physics, and his wife, Alma Fernandez, who also works in physics. Last year also provided the opportunity for Dr. Jim Heilman to move towards retirement. On September 1 last year, Jim retired from the university as emeritus professor. We congratulate him on a wonderful career. With the new hires and a strong department, this has been an outstanding year for grants. Our faculty have had record grants this year. Our faculty have also increased their publication impact and number this past year. We're excited about the research, the extension, and the teaching that is going on in the department. We're most excited about that opportunity to get back to greater hands-on learning during this next year. Thanks again for participating in this event. Thank you to all of you for your contribution to the department, be it through donation, be it as a faculty member, or especially as a student. We really need more undergraduate students, as the opportunities for our students are growing year over year. with exceptionally quality jobs in agriculture. Please share these opportunities with other students as you go out. And thank you again for joining us.